Hi, local main character Zepp here. Did you know that Gundam aren't the only giant robot that you can buy, piloted by gay men and women and whatever gender Tieria Erde has going on?
Ah, the Zoo Pals approach, using cute animal shapes to make the terrors of war more fun.
Enter Zoids, a franchise of toy animal model kits, often with cool moving parts, powered by wind-up mechanisms or batteries. Tomy released the brand in Japan as Mecha in 1982. It flopped after 3 models. They then went on to release those same kits as Zoids in North America and Europe a year later to major success. Major enough for the series to be relaunched in Japan under the new Zoids name. Although that might not be entirely accurate. Some sources claim that it released in 1981, and others claim that it released in the US and Europe first, and then got rebranded to Zoids in Japan once the Mecha branding failed. So it's really up to interpretation. And so, the series has been going on for 40 years with varying levels of success with different anime, manga, and game adaptations along the way. In 2018, the series returned with Zoids Wild, bringing with it new kits in anime and manga and a tie-in Switch game. The anime would be dubbed by Ocean Productions in English, and the toys would be adapted by goddammit, it was Hasbro.
Hasbro has been in some hot water recently for deserving to be in hot water. Even Bank of America called them out for corporate greed. When the corporate greed group of the corporate greed country calls you out for corporate greed, I'm sorry, but you're going to hell. But there is still one good thing Hasbro does. Steal from Takara Tomy. That's right, most of Hasbro's product that is still at a passable quality is just direct imports of Takara Tomy's plastic. While Hasbro's quality drops and their price increases to sustain an impossible to upkeep curve of profits, Takara Tomy keeps on doing what they do best. Be a Japanese toy company.
Takara Tomy's relationship with Hasbro is about as healthy as any couple who married straight out of high school. It's not. You see, Hasbro gives Takara Tomy Transformers, licensed toys, and the tools to permit Duel Master's existence. And in exchange, they give Hasbro Beyblade, miscellaneous hobby Annie for Hasbro to botch, and also Transformers. Takara Tomy does a lot of the heavy lifting in actually designing Transformer toys, and also Takara made the Diaclone and Microchange toys that were later released by Hasbro as the original Generation 1 Transformers, so it's arguable who actually gives who Transformers. I don't know how healthy this relationship actually is, because Takara Tomy literally released an English tutorial on how to buy their products through their proprietary store Takara Tomy Mall by collaborating with Bai, proxy buying service from Japan. They are also setting up T Licensing, a licensing firm for Takara Tomy in New York. If it weren't for Transformers and licensed toys, I think they would be releasing Bottleman and Beyblade through the Tomy International brand by now.
So, to digress, yeah, Hasbro adapted the series for the West, which, oh, that's not good. Oh, yikes. Come on, man!
While the toys they did manage to bring over were good, they adapted the Takara Tomy models, which were more kid-friendly and had walking features. Kotobukiya releases the bigger, more posable kits with high-fidelity details. There was very little reason to bring over those kits because A, they already release in Western regions, and B, they don't really fit Hasbro's MO of releasing the cheapest plastic possible. The walking kits feature a rider figure on the back and an awakening gimmick to model the anime's own awakening power. Having riders on the back of the Zoids is also unique to Zoids Wild because usually these guys are piloted via cockpits. The Zoids in the Wild rendition of the lore are meant to be smaller, less domesticated, and less cybernetically enhanced than the Zoids of other series. Yeah, Zoids aren't robots, and they're also living creatures that are just kind of like that. I'm not going to go into 40 years of product history. Hey, shut up! The riders are also quite young to match the younger target audience of this series. Zoids is no stranger to child soldiers, but the wild kids are child soldiers in the sense that I don't even think they know their times tables yet. Hasbro's version of these models aren't too different from the original releases. The colors vary slightly, the names are different, and stuff like the eye parts are locked into place, but that's a worthy price to pay for this. These painted rider figures are a Hasbro exclusive. Takara Tomy just had these clear guys. This level of detail at the price point these kits released for is insane, and I wonder how Hasbro got away with it. I'd give up anything to have these little guys over some clear boys any day. Let's go, ride 'em, little man, yeehaw! The parts of these kits aren't on runners, instead being marked by lettered bags and little symbols to help you know which part goes where. The instructions are in full color, clear, and adorned with cute little manga panels. It's a fun, if not very simple, build. It's a nice brain break from the process of Gunpla, but I'm still going to panel line these guys. It's the least I can do, I'm not a heathen. The parts are built around this middle engine block, which drives the walking gimmick. These are either powered by a mechanical crank system or batteries, depending on the scale. The line, now called Zoids Build Them to Battle, had two scales. Giga Battlers, the big 60-plus piece kits powered by batteries, and Mega Battlers, powered by cranks or batteries, and range from 27 to 55 parts. Yeah, so the scales don't really matter. Essentially, the more parts it has, the more likely it is it needs batteries. I've managed to pick up 3 kits across the years. The Liger, the capstone of the line, based on the Wild Liger, has 69 parts. Yeah, yuck it up, wise guy. You heard me right. They removed wild in the name. Weird choice. The Trike, based on the Triceratogos, has 65 parts, and the Ruin, based on the Giloraptor, which comes in with only 47. Once built and turned on with switches that are mostly hidden out of the way, the Zoids will walk. Some kits will need you to physically activate the awakening gimmicks like the Giloraptor and the Triceratogos, but the Wild Liger automatically activates its sword-swinging gimmick after a few steps. Or at least they're supposed to. The sword springs on mine are a bit weak, so they don't automatically trigger anymore since I stored them with the swords held back, weakening the springs over the time, which is an issue that also happens with things like Bakugan, so make sure to store your toys properly, kids, or grown adults. That aside, the walking gimmick is very fun. I wish there was some kind of small-scale treadmill I could just have these guys walk on continuously forever. I wish more model kits had these playful mechanical gimmicks. It's neat!
While I enjoy building RX-78-2's inner frame for the millionth time to exact detail that it could be built in real life to function so a real-life child soldier could pilot it, just look at this man walk! Oh, he has 2 points of articulation. The one he has with your mom and the one he has with your dad.
Hasbro also added a battle game and an accompanying playmat to the series, which I'm surprised to see from a company so allergic to enriching a series instead of detracting from it. But let's not get too carried away here. This is probably just added to have some parody with Beyblade. And also, Hasbro doesn't have a great track record when it comes to adding games to toys, so let's not pat their backs too early with such bangers as Transformers Bot Shots, the Star Wars figure game, and Space Jam Monopoly. Okay, to be fair, that one's not connected to a toy, but the tactics is. I guess they rebranded the toys as Build Them to Battle for a reason. The rules consist of 2 sentences and boil down to making the opponent step off the mat. Let's just do a quick demo battle. Yep, it's bad. There's nothing to do here. The toys weren't designed with this in mind, and the weapons are for show, not for blow. Ing away the opponent. This ain't no Kabuto Borg, and it certainly ain't no Crush Gear. Especially since some of them use wind-up motors and other use batteries. Neither of them strong enough to facilitate the battle gimmick, by the way. But it could have at least been used to determine, like, weight classes. You'd think that they'd make their classifications of the toy line, the Mega Battlers and the Giga Battlers, based on whether they had a battery or not, since that also correlates with build complexity and part count pretty well, but hey, I like to make bird shit decisions too. Like trying to use spinning tops to sell tires.
I found all of these kits for pretty cheap and picked them all up. If you can do the same, please do. They're whimsical and they engender the spirit of play. Don't let the Hasbro logo scare you away. If you don't like the new colors, well, paint them. They're model kits. So, one last thing. I actually got this package from Hasbro, which is kind of weird. I wasn't expecting it since, you know, I kind of rail into them a lot of the time, but I thought it would be fun to end this off with this. So let's just open it up, and, well, it's not anthrax. Hey, are pipe bombs the one that look like pipes?